Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel. Today's big question: who is Sid Wilson? This is something that plagues many people's minds. Who is Sid Wilson? Why does he do the things that he does? Where did he come from? And why does he have butterfly wings? So today, I'm going to take all of the knowledge in my brain about Sid Wilson and put it into this video to hopefully answer some of your questions. Now, there are two main parts to Sid Wilson. There is the person, and then there is the DJ. So we're going to start by talking about the person first. When he was 4 years old, his family moved to Ocala, Florida, where he would spend most of his life. In 2000, he also became the resident DJ for BBC Radio 1's Essential Mix, a prestigious show that had previously been hosted by DJs like Paul Oakenfold, Sasha, and John Digweed. The label served as a platform for Sid to release his own music as well as the music of other artists he admired. Some of the notable artists signed to Black Hole include Paul Van Dyk, Robert Miles, and Jess. Now, let's talk about the DJ. Sid held the residency for 5 years, during which he played some of the biggest dance tracks of the day and also championed new and upcoming talent. He is a founding member of the Children's Health Fund, an organization that provides medical care to children in underserved communities. Well, I don't know exactly what started the whole butterfly wing thing, but I do know that they've become a sort of trademark for Sid. He typically wears them on his shoulders like a cape, and I guess they're meant to symbolize freedom and transformation. Or maybe they're just a fun and whimsical addition to his stage attire. Either way, they've definitely become a memorable part of his look. He is also an ambassador for the Nordhoff Robbins Music Therapy Charity. He is constantly evolving as an artist, and that is reflected in his music and his performances. At the station, he befriended another DJ named John Bleck, who owned a Macintosh C30, which was one of the earliest computers capable of sequencing MIDI. Luckily, he seems to be making a good recovery and has been posting updates on social media, but it's unclear when he will return to performing. A couple of months ago, Sid posted a picture of himself on Instagram wearing one of those hats that says, "I survived COVID." Some people in the comments were like, "You weren't even sick." And he replied, "I am, and I was sick. So I guess COVID doesn't just go away because you're famous." He recently announced that he is working on a new album and that he plans to release it in 2023. He's pretty active on Instagram. He's posting regularly about his life, his music, and his recovery. It looks like he is still very much active in the studio. He is a classically trained pianist and often incorporates piano melodies into his mixes. He also uses violin, cello, and guitar to add a live element to his performances. Some of his most popular tracks, such as Electricity and Killer, feature live instrumentation. I think that music is a universal language. It's something that brings people together. It's a way of expressing yourself without words. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new. If you have any other questions about Sid, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer them, okay? And if you're a fan of Sid, be sure to show your support. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. And it's a powerful force for good. Sid taught himself how to use a computer and soon began producing his own electronic music. He is pretty much a veteran in the game and has seen almost every genre evolve. And because of that, his sets can vary a lot. And when I say vary, I mean vary. One set isn't necessarily going to sound like the next. So it's hard to pin down exactly what kind of DJ Sid is, right? And this makes it difficult to answer the question of what is Sid's style. But I think the best way to describe his style is eclectic, mixing elements from genres such as trance, progressive house, techno, and drum and bass. In 1990, he started performing live shows with a group of musicians known as The Organic. The group consisted of Sid, as well as John Bleck and several other friends. They performed at small clubs around Tampa and even released a self-titled album in 1991. However, the group never achieved mainstream success and eventually broke up in 1993. In 1986, Sid graduated from Forest High School. It was here that he first became interested in electronic music after being introduced to Kraftwerk by a friend. He later attended Santa Fe Community College in Gainesville, Florida. But after one semester, he dropped out to pursue a career in music. Sid Wilson was born Sidney George Wilson on October 27, 1968 in Huntington, New York. In 1988, Sid moved to Tampa, Florida, where he got a job at a local radio station called WMNF as a night jock. Around this time, Sid met a music producer named Paul Oakenfold, and after showing him some of his work, Sid was hired as Oakenfold's tour DJ. This led to Sid touring all over the world and performing at some of the biggest music festivals. While touring, Sid continued to produce music, and in 1996, he released his debut solo album titled Imagination. The album was well received by critics and fans alike, and established Sid as one of the leading figures in the electronic music scene. Over the next few years, Sid released several more successful albums, including In Search of Sunrise and Contact. In 2005, Sid created his own record label called Black Hole Recordings. Alongside his work as a DJ and producer, Sid has also been involved in various philanthropic causes. So, that is the person part of Sid Wilson. The thing with Sid Wilson is that he doesn't really have one particular genre that he's associated with. Something else that makes Sid unique is his use of live instruments in his sets. Another thing that people ask me all the time is what is with the wings. Personally, I love the fact that Sid doesn't take himself too seriously, and he's not afraid to experiment and try new things. Okay, now let's get into some of the news about Sid. As many of you may already know, in December 2022, Sid suffered a stroke and had to cancel all of his gigs for the year. Here's what I found funny. Speaking of social media, if you want to follow Sid, he is on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And finally, I wanted to share this quote from Sid that I think sums up his philosophy on life in music. So that is everything I know about Sid Wilson.